Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
And I am. You'll never find out.
Yes, that's not my name's not Captain Foley. Sorry.
Oh, unless you've already heard of Section 31, like it seems lots of people have. So if you have, you know who I am. If you haven't heard, then you don't. But you're here, so you have. Commander Cockings.
Right.
Yeah.
In case you can't tell, we're going to be covertly talking about Section 31.
Well, are we?
Overtly talking about it. No, we're not. After you view this, your memory will be wiped, and this will be struck from the record. It will not be viewable again ever. So enjoy it now.
Or not, because you haven't.
Download it. Share it around so that you can spread the word and before it gets deleted.
Yes, the more you share, the more memories you'll keep at the end of it. Anyway, today's episode is about the nicely revealed Section 31 dedicated ship. The first dedicated ship we've seen since the Vengeance, because in all previous iterations of Trek, they've always, been a single agent or a little team utilizing Federation ships. This is now a dedicated ship in this Discovery era, and we've got a pretty unusual little fly around, and some set pictures inside as well. And we knew this was coming, sort of. But what did you think of the reveal and your thoughts on the design so far?
I thought it was a great reveal. When I saw the ship, I'm like, ooh, this is intriguing. This is cool. What's this? And then I remembered, oh yeah, it's Section 31. But it's funny because these screen caps you have, when it's coming out of the sun, or from with the sun behind it, it looks almost Romulan, and then it goes down to more like Romulan design, and then it swings down and kind of has a Vulcan warp sled feel from the motion picture with those nacelles, although they'd be backwards. But and it's also got cloaking by the looks of it, or some kind of camouflage that pixelates off of it.
Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't and can't have cloak, but I'm fine to have some active camo, which is much simpler. And only small ships can use it effectively, because this is a tiny ship. If you break it down, you can see the back. It's clearly got a little shuttle pod, little bay, like a single room, and then a deck for a hangar bay for cargo and stuff, and then the windows which you can see out of, which are obviously in the bridge module, and then a big bridge. So it's probably 2 decks. It's very, very small and functional.
Yeah, you can definitely get a sense of scale from the windows and that airlock on the side.
Section 31 is a strange concept to utilize, because I liked how when she appears to L'Rell, she says, security consultant. Perfect. That's the cover. But I suppose when she talks to Tyler, she's very much more blunt, because she wants him to join their team. So I guess why bullshit? Why fake at that point? But it's so weird for them just to mention it so willy-nilly.
Well, it seems to be the ongoing trend. I like how she's standing beside him and pulls out the black badge, like she's had it in her hand the whole time. Like, I always have this in my hand. And then she puts it away. It's like, wow, really?
I keep 2 just in case.
I have my badge on me. We can't wear it because people will know, but I always have it because it's important. I can't just have I don't know, ID papers. Oh man. Anyway, ship is really cool. I do like it. I love the articulating nacelles. That's really cool. The one scene or the one image we have here where they're kind of just down before it passes the camera looks fantastic. Whether that's the upside or the downside doesn't really matter. I think it would look good both ways, but I didn't get a real sense of what was up and what was down with that camera angle they did. I think it was just silly. Plus, there's no markings on it, so.
I got a distinct sense that they were rotating for it to be right side up, and you can see the bridge dome, and you can see the shuttle bay. I think for the most part that's the way. And then the nacelles are up, which is a bit more conventional.
Well, let me.
Because that was the sense of it was rotating into the bridge, and the bridge still rotates in. So I think it was trying to imply how I meant to go. But yeah, the wings unfoil from inside the belly and then up, which I think makes more. And actually looks even cooler from the angle. Actually looks better coiled up like that. Because it is very much like it's all compressed. I love that. It's a nice idea for a stealth field. Cloak is very efficient, is very clever, is very whatever. But to actually have sensor jamming technology, we've got to turn off the warp, units and have them right next to the hull inside the shield bubble, so close that so that's a nice little touch. And
yeah, it's a definitely cool shot, and I was really impressed with the ship when I first saw it. I gotta say, I didn't really notice the Romulan-esque vibe of it until I saw these stills, but I did get a Vulcan warp sled vibe. It feels like a TMP Vulcan kind of warp sled. Not that the warp sleds works distinctly Vulcan, that one specifically was, but the warp sleds, you know what I mean.
Yes.
And you can see what really does that is the shape of the nacelles. Really ties in with the warp sled, and I think that's the biggest thing.
Well, it's an interesting amalgam of shapes and also non-shapes. The back is very much the Warp Delta. The front is very much something else. The engines are very much a sleeked Discovery, but not quite. It's a Shinjo Discovery hybrid, but more Shinjo, which is fun because that look is more interesting, at least for this, than the Discovery of the big Bassards. So my guess is this, again, just like Vengeance, it doesn't have open Bassards because it can't afford that with the energy loss. It's like a black ship does not make it more stealthy. It's the armor, it's the tech. You can have a bright pink ship and then just have it cloaked. It'll be far enough away to not be seen. But I like some of the small details. You can see some windows, gives you a sense of scale. But they definitely feel, if you look at the interior shots, they're much more porthole windows. They're not like actual big windows. They're much more tiny, small, I can see out of, rather than the classic TNG window, more NX era. So because this ship could in itself be like 20 years old and just constantly updated. The shell could just be, an older design, which would certainly fit in with the other pieces.
Well, I think it's more of a state-of-the-art ship,
Well,
my opinion anyway.
But you know what I mean? Like, it could just be one of the fleet.
I do love their central command area here, whether this is the bridge or tactical operations. I assume it's the bridge because of the big window, the big view screen window, but cool to have the multiple decks. You can see an armory over there on the right-hand side in the one shot. I'm looking forward to seeing more Section 31, even though I hate how Section 31 is now the most important thing in Star Trek to a lot of people. Something that was introduced in Deep Space Nine, then retconned back to appear in Enterprise, is now everywhere. It just seems like without Section 31, the Federation wouldn't exist. It's like, really?
Yeah, Section 31 is one of those things that should be used as little as possible, and as a subtle, the audience knows they're behind stuff. It's secret for a reason. The best way to keep it secret is not to tell people. But I do like this bridge. It very much has a Klingon sarcophagus ship vibe in the sense of these two decks. Like, it's that similar tall. Every time we saw the Klingon sarcophagus ship, we tend to see the top level with a big window and the bottom level. So they're kind of recycling that slightly. Also, it's got a very Shinjo vibe. I bet you they kit bashed some of the elements, like some of the pillars and stuff. Not in a bad way, but it has a certain feel. And to be fair, since the Shinjo was built to have a top, a floor, but then also you see underneath the floor is actually on stilts. So it'd be a lot easier to take the ceiling, the main bridge, and then build underneath it the main first floor, and then you've just pre-made a ceiling. And I bet you if you start breaking down the set, it's probably just a redressed Shinjo top with other things and like bits, which is fine. It's clever, but this top shot of the bridge, the top level, it's like, well, those doors might just be Shinjo, and there's elements that are clearly like, so I bet that's probably what happened. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we only saw it on screen for what, 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
What, Shinjo?
No, the ship from the outside.
From the outside, yeah. But this is a nice ship because clearly it's going to be a big thing in the show. You don't tend to build a set this big with this many glowing and elements without it being a pretty, multiple episode piece of coolness.
Eventually a Section 31 show with her as well.
Very true. Yep.
So
backdoor pilot set. Well, to be fair, they really should, to sell it to All Access, should we make like, a 30-minute pilot of it as well and such. But back to the outside for a second, I do like the fact that it's got a little docking port visible and it's got 2 aft torpedo launchers. I kind of like those little details. It's clearly probably very well armed considering for its size and very maneuverable, and I dig it. It's unusual, but they're the one group that can have unusual,
Yeah, I get the vibe that it's very maneuverable. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of it because this is a cool design. This is something. If Eagle Moss makes this, which I'm sure they will, I want it to have the articulating nacelles on it, though.
Well, Eagle Moss,
they've never done anything articulating. So.
Well, Eagle Moss makes everything. They're even going to make the crashed freighter from last episode.
The Hiawatha?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, they got the models, so why not?
I mean,
CG models. So.
Right as well, I guess. And one last thing on the inside, we mentioned this in our big review, is that look at this inside. It's very subdued considering. And one of the flaws in the aesthetic of visually rebooting TOS is that now you've set this bar of super advancement. Where's left to go ahead of that? You know, you've seen the workpiece where everything's fully 3D controls. You've seen real-time holograms across the galaxy. You've seen see-through displays. That all this stuff is so advanced, it's well beyond the Trek level that it should be at the time. And so this bridge, meant to be a Section 31 ship, the most advanced tech of the time, looks actively boring, simple, and underwhelming in terms of tech. Now, yes, they might not be showy-offy, because why would you? But normally, if they'd really been smart and thought it through, you'd have the Discovery be far more like the stuff we see. And this coming along and be like, wow, it has so many LED displays and so many holograms and so many cool things. You know, it's kind of a very simplistic to what you'd assume it would be, because they've already set the bar so high. They've put themselves into a corner of art design. Like they can't go beyond the beyond, because then they'll really destroy the visual continuity. Even their own, so they've kind of kept it kind of restrained. They've had to. Yeah,
I gotta admit, I'm not a huge fan of the all blue lighting on the bridge either. I mean, I get it; it's a stealth ship, supposed to be dark and mysterious, and Section 31-y, but that lighting doesn't do anybody any favors. I don't think.
That said, I don't like how many people there are on the ship. For some reason, that kind of irks me. It's like, wow, it's a lot of top secret agents that, you can get a thing, you don't necessarily know many yet. Or they did say Arcel, didn't they say at one point? So I like that. This might be the entire people even know Giorgio's who she is. That's kind of cool. But, if it's like everyone they have, fine. But it's like, is that a pretty well crewed ship for a,
Yeah, it's a small ship, so it's probably got a crew of like
12,
30 people
50,
maybe.
Yeah.
At the most, and then a lot of them are on the bridge because there's not a lot of room on the ship. I don't know. We have to get a sense of scale and numbers for
it's
size
small.
To really
Small and defiant for sure. In terms of length, well,
yeah.
Or at least in terms of internal volume, I think far less than defiant, which is good. It'd be fun to see like a really small, powerful-ish ship.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, yeah, not much to say on it really because
I think we did quite a lot there, Stuart. I'm quite proud of us.
Well, yes, but I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing more of it, seeing it in action,
and
seeing some other things we can talk about because we are the ship guys and we love ships, and I loved this one when I first saw it, so glad we got to talk about it a little bit. But that leads us to you guys. What do you guys think of this ship? So put your comments down below. What do you guys think about this ship? I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. As always, I'm really looking forward to seeing more of this. And I think with the storyline, we are going to get some more of this ship for sure. And we'll have a lot more to talk about. So that'll be exciting. So as always, do your like, subscribe, hit the notification icon, and check out all of our links down below. So buy some Trekyards merch. There's some cool stuff. Just added some cool stuff. So
like what and how?
Well, there's a link down below, as I said, to the Teespring store. And you can pick up shirts, lots of cool shirts, mugs, shower curtain. Yeah, we have a shower curtain now. And even backpacks, duffel bags, lots of cool stuff. So pick it up and let us know what you think.
But where can they find that, Stuart?
I already told them 3 times. It's down in the description below. There's a link.
It's so cool, though. I wanted to point it out 3 times because it's cool. We've got our own little mini store and you can get cool things, support us, or just support us on Patreon. Or join our lives, which you'll see throughout the week. You'll see hopefully like announcements early on in the day. You can join in all at very similar times. Or a one-time donation at trekyards.com. That donate button, click it, give whatever you can, and just keep watching the show. There you go. And we're gonna go for the next video, Stuart. So till next time, here's.
I am no one, and he is
not even here anymore.
Right. We're gone. Bye, guys.
Bye.